niggas always in they feelings. I ain't got no time, I'm chasing millions. I'm tryna cop that Lambo, drop the ceiling. Do the dash and that bitch might blow the engine. Niggas saying on the kid, this shit ain't new to me. Keep sending threats, but what the fuck is they gon'
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy PNF Keith, man. I'm back with another reaction video, man. Diddy, you struck again. This time it's crazy though. Y'all gonna see what's going on when we click the video. I don't even want to explain too much, but from this title alone, this one might be the one that put the case, put him under the jail.
Sean Diddy Combs, and these are some of the most horrific yet. A man says he was just 10 years old when the rapper allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted him during what was supposed to be an audition, sending him back to his parents crying and in pain. The latest lawsuit.
At this point, it's getting out of hand, literally. It started off with the baby oil. Then you took Chris Brown down, which you were trying to take him down. All these other celebrities. And then now you touching 10-year-olds. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's a sick individual.
Against the music mogul seem to reinforce previous claims made in both civil and criminal court, and we're going to break down these most recent allegations right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. On Monday, Texas attorney Tony Busby's law firm filed 2 new lawsuits in New York State Supreme Court, alleging that music superstar Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted 2 underage boys in the early 2000s. And one of them was allegedly just 10 years old at the time. As if these allegations couldn't get worse. Now, we've been closely following the legal drama that's been stalking Sean Combs, and right now, as we know, he's locked up in the Metropolitan Detention
Keep
Center.
him locked up. He's dangerous.
Denied bond twice.
He needs his own prison at this point.
Try for a third time
Like,
to get him out of lockup as he waits for trial. He's now.
You know how like El Chapo, they got him surrounded by like all these, his max security, I think, a bunch of guards. Diddy need his own separate prison, whereas though it's just him there and 1,000 guards, nobody else. Cause there's no way that if he beat this case, bro, I swear, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might go look for him myself. I'm gonna have to bring the dealer down myself. Me and Batman.
Petitioning the new judge overseeing this case, Judge Arun Subramanian. And we actually just learned that when it comes to where he's locked up, multiple agencies are investigating the Metropolitan Detention Center, the MDC, maybe looking into the conditions, maybe doing a sweep of contraband in the area. We did actually a whole Sidebar episode dedicated to that because the circumstances in that facility are pretty horrific. And we were wondering.
Plug it up. Put it over there. Put it on the step. I'll grab it. All right.
Whether or not Sean Combs and the notoriety of his case has facilitated or has led to this investigation. We talked about it. You can check it out on our Long Crime YouTube channel. It should be up there right now. Now, as we get into these latest developments, I have to warn you. I have to give you a trigger warning here. These details are not only unimaginable, but they're horrifying. They're horrible.
You don't even gotta warn us, bro. I know for a fact it's something crazy. Just off the title, he touching 10-year-olds, bro. Like, who does this? I mean, I understand he's a creep, he's a pedophile, but he's sick in the head, bro. Like, how do this turn you on, touching little boys and little girls? That just shows you no matter how much money you got in this world, some people just gonna be who they are regardless. The money don't help certain people. It just makes certain people worse. Because the money, when they get all this money, they feel like they got the power to do whatever they want and they untouchable. You see how long it's taking for them to solve all these cases and find out what's going on and all these people to speak up. It's just gonna keep getting worse and worse. And Diddy feel like he probably in jail thinking he gonna beat this because he got so much money. That money, the wrong people be having the money, man, and power.
Fine. They can be incredibly difficult to listen to. I gotta tell you, I was reading these lawsuits and I even winced because it's so just disgusting. It's incredibly disturbing. But look, this is a legal case now, and it's important to understand what the victims are alleging, the legal basis for their claims, what evidence they may have to support their claims, and the impact that this could have on Sean Combs and, of course, his criminal case. So, with that in mind, we're going to talk about it. Now, before we even get into the actual claims of this lawsuit, I have to give you a brief background about where we're at. So a grand jury in the Southern District of New York indicted Sean Combs on federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was arrested on September 16th. He's been, as I said, behind bars ever since after being denied bail. And prosecutors say that Combs used his money, his influence, to organize what are called freak-offs. These are essentially
exactly what I was just saying. They be giving the wrong people money and attention, bro. Like, if he was just a regular person, I mean, I'm not gonna say he probably wouldn't have did what he was doing, but he wouldn't even have the power or authority to even be around the certain people he was touching or do what he wanted to do. Now that he got all this money, he feel untouchable, bro.
Male sex workers procuring drugs and then filming these sex acts, that he used force, fraud, coercion to get what he wanted, that he engaged in a campaign of sexual exploitation and abuse of women. By the way, what do I talk about all the time on Sidebar? I talk about the law, right? Shocker, law and crime, I talk about the law. But I also talk about legal rulings, legal decisions. And right now, I got a landmark one for you that has just changed things in a very big way, because you can now legally trade on who will win the 2024 election. Yes, this is legal. And that's
crazy. I
because
just
our
seen
sponsor of Sidebar, Kalshi, went to court
That's
and won
crazy.
legal approval.
I was just making a video about sports betting and stuff, and then I ended up coming across that you can bet on an election. That's crazy. You can bet on who gonna win. I might put like $1,000 on Trump to win. That's how it's looking right now. I'm not a big fan of voting. I don't vote. I feel like it don't got nothing to do with my personal life. They say every vote matters. No matter what we think, they're not gonna change specifically what one person want to do. But I mean, if y'all vote, go vote. If y'all like voting, and y'all
for election trading for the
pick
first
somebody
time in over 100 years. So not only can you essentially bet on the 2024 presidential election winner, but with Kalshi you can bet on who will control the House
This
and
got
Senate,
nothing to do
who
with
will win
Diddy.
the swing states. You think it's pretty timely what's happening next week. And it's not just politics, by the way. You can bet on other future of credit. That's Kalshi.com/sidebar. The fact that Combs now faces criminal charges in federal court, though, it hasn't stopped what has been an onslaught of civil cases against him. In fact, he is facing new allegations every single week. And we told you about Tony Busby, this Texas attorney, who announced that he was going to be filing more than 100 individual civil actions against Sean Combs. And he's been true to his word. I mean, so far, Busby and his partners have filed more than a dozen of these lawsuits, with many more seemingly looming on the horizon. Combs, though, he's always denied any wrongdoing. Let's be clear about that, both in federal court and in statements released by his attorneys in response to these new civil lawsuits. He's always maintained his innocence. In a statement, a representative for Combs said,
There's nothing innocent about Diddy and what he's doing.
The facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail. That Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, adult or minor.
Bah, bro.
And when it comes to
That's
Tony
another
Busby,
crazy thing, right?
Sean Combs' team,
Because when you're a lawyer, no matter if your client guilty or not, or how you feel towards him, you still got to defend him regardless. If once he pay you that money, and you can't go against his word or nothing, you got to defend that person. So that means they can be a rapist, a killer, no matter what, you got to defend that person. That's kind of crazy to think about. Once again, that money will do anything.
had this to say: the lawyer behind this lawsuit is interested in media attention rather than the truth, as is obvious from his constant press appearances and 1-800 number. As we've said before, Mr. Combs...
Hello?
The car literally won't start.
What's wrong with it?
I have no idea. The key's not turning.
You turned the wheel?
Yeah, like it usually goes off and it's not going on. I've been doing it for like 10 minutes.
Where you at?
Walmart.
Damn. Try to call what's the name? Ramon.
Cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially
Listen,
ridiculous or
when y'all get older,
false. And it is important to note,
Do not rush into
while
buying a
Combs
car.
has settled
It's
at
like
least
having
one
another
lawsuit,
kid.
like the bombshell lawsuit filed by his ex Cassandra Ventura nearly a year ago that started the whole ball rolling with this legal saga, he has not admitted any culpability. Well, he did apologize on Instagram after the 2016 video of him reportedly beating Cassandra Ventura at a hotel hallway surfaced by CNN.
He was drawn with right there. I don't know if y'all seen that video. That's like the first video that came out. I think he started beating this girl up. Like, it's not even funny, bro. He started putting his hands on this female in this hotel hallway. From right there, I knew it was something wrong with him in the head. He was sick by the way he was hitting her. He was kicking her and everything. I think it was Cassie. It's gonna be hard to beat all these charges. He better just plead guilty.
Any court. He hasn't been found guilty of any wrongdoing in any court. So right now, he is presumed innocent. And these are allegations.
For now.
They're serious allegations, but they're allegations. But having said that, what is being put out there now in the course of these new civil lawsuits is arguably even worse than what we've heard before. It's kind of hard to judge, but let me get into this. Because on Monday,
if he beat these charges right here, his lawyer is literally he got a Floyd Mayweather Floyd Mayweather background or something. His lawyer got to be undefeated if he beat these charges. There's so many allegations against him right now. Whereas though he gonna be fighting these charges until I have kids and then my kids' kids have kids. Cause they just gonna keep stacking up. They gonna do what they tried to do with Bill Cosby.
Tony Busby and his legal partners, they filed a suit against Combs on behalf of a John Doe who lives in California. The lawsuit states, this case seeks compensatory and punitive damages for the drugging and sexual assault of a 10-year-old boy when he met defendant Sean Combs for an audition. The conduct described herein is shockingly typical of how Combs conducted himself for many years. And look, that is true. Many of the allegations from Combs' accusers say they were drugged and then they were assaulted, that this is a pattern. And of course, we know when it comes to the federal charges, Combs is accused
whatever they say he did it.
To have people engage in those freak-off sessions. By the way, when we talk about compensatory damages, those are damages to really restore someone to whole where they were before the incident, and punitive damages are a way to punish the defendant. Okay, but back to the lawsuit. Combs isn't the only defendant named. In fact, this is very typical of a lot of the lawsuits we're seeing, because it's not just Combs, it's business entities. Because the plaintiff also alleges here misconduct by multiple companies that are associated with Sean Combs and his entertainment empire. This includes Combs Enterprises LLC, Bad Boy Entertainment LLC. There are more. The complaint reads, on the surface, each of these businesses served a legitimate purpose related to entertainment, music, and other subjects, but in reality, Combs, by and through himself and his agents, employees, and contractors, used these businesses to sexually assault, abuse, threaten, and coerce hundreds of individuals through sexual quid pro quos.
Like, how you sexually assaulting people through a business? You got it running like it's normal, like it's just something that people do. You got a whole business to sexually assault people. Like, what be wrong with people, bro? People not hair in the head. They not hair. I don't know, bro. Something had to happen to Diddy when he was younger that nobody knows about. Cause it's no way somebody just wakes up and loves doing this type of stuff.
As well as to take advantage of individuals with impunity, thinking the victims would never seek recourse. Combs and his agents, employees, and contractors through these Combs businesses would tell victims, this is what it takes to be famous, what are you willing to do to become a star, and perform this sexual act or else.
Like what?
To coerce the victim into performing a non-consensual sexual act for the gratification of Combs and his cohorts. Now again, that is very consistent with the criminal racketeering charge that Combs faces, that he used his businesses to further illegal activities like sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson. But let's talk about the specific claims from this John Doe in this lawsuit. Again, trigger warning, very difficult to listen to.
Bro, he can't get away with this one,
In 2005, plaintiff was a 10-year-old boy interested in becoming an actor and or rapper. Plaintiff lived in the Los Angeles area and used his proximity to the entertainment industry to secure several acting roles and a part in a music video. To help their son's burgeoning career, plaintiff's parents found and hired an industry consultant through an internet ad. The consultant recommended that the family visit New York City to meet with people in the music industry. During the trip, plaintiff's consultant arranged a meeting with defendant Combs for a quote audition. Combs
It was an
indicated
audition,
that he
all
wanted
right.
to meet with plaintiff alone.
A Diddy
first,
audition is
prior to
different.
meeting.
He wants you to dance for him, strip for him. He want to touch on you and all that. He don't even want you to do what you're there for. He don't even want to know your talent. He just want to touch on you. So his audition is a little different. And it's weird because you got people auditioning for you. And you hyping these kids' heads up thinking they going to be stars just so you can touch on them and so they can benefit you and you can feel good, like in a sexual way. That's weird to me, bro. That's how the music industry is, though, and a lot of these other industries.
The family. The consultant, without plaintiff's
Everybody gonna get
parents,
exposed too.
took plaintiff to the purported audition at a hotel in the same general vicinity as plaintiff's own hotel. The consultant brought plaintiff to Combs' room, but left him with Combs and told plaintiff that she would be back later. Plaintiff recalls other people in the room or area, but he did not know who any of the people were. So here's this claim that a consultant, I don't even know if the proper word is recruit, but facilitated this meeting between this boy and Sean Combs, seemingly convinced the parents that it was okay for him to go alone to meet one of the most famous men in the world at the time. And for anyone, of course, the allure of money and fame, that can be pretty mesmerizing, but especially, I would imagine, for a child. But keep that
And
in
it's
mind,
crazy
10-year-old
because
child here.
He just doing what the industry did to him, basically. I think I touched on this before in a different video or on my TikTok. I'm going to put it below. But long story short, the music industry and the movie industry, all the industries together, right? They be like, all right, we're going to get this kid who's from poverty, who never seen no type of money, right? We're going to offer him all this money knowing he's going to accept it without looking at the contract or what's in the contract. And we're going to take advantage of him. And then the parents, they be like, well, as long as you pay my kid, because, you know, kids too young to touch the money at the time, so the money goes to your parents once you sign that contract. They like, well, as long as you pay my kid and us good enough, you can do what you want. Take my kid, go ahead. Or half the time, they probably don't know what's going on or not thinking about what's going on because they're so focused on the money. This rules the world, money. So it probably happened to him, and he's just doing what the label did to him. It's not right. Now he touching kids and doing all these and lying to them and pulling them in, swindling them, just so he can get a sexual feel. And it's like, it's weird, bro, but that's why I stopped making music. I don't want to be a rapper no more.
The complaint says, quote, plaintiff performed several rap songs for Combs. Combs complimented plaintiff on his rapping and told plaintiff that he could make him a star. Combs asked plaintiff how badly he wanted to be a star and what plaintiff would do to get to be one. Plaintiff responded, as might any 10-year-old child,
This like
that
makes
he
you
would
mad.
do
When
anything. So at this point,
Listening
one of
to
the other
this.
people present allegedly gave this boy a soda, and after he drank it, he started to feel, quote, a little funny.
Because he put
Like,
something in the
chalked it
drink.
up to being maybe just so excited about his opportunity to rap for Sean Combs. But the plaintiff now believes that that soda was drugged with either GHB, known as the date rape drug, or ecstasy, or maybe even both. And that's interesting.
At this
because,
point, you
again,
can't
it's
trust
not
nothing he
Combs
do.
accused of giving a
So he didn't put stuff inside drinks, baby oil somehow, and lotion somehow. It's just gonna keep coming out more and more of what he done did. Next thing you know, you talk to him now, you infected. He got some type mouthwash or something, whereas he talk, and now you horny.
drug drink to an alleged victim. It's one of his employees or associates or friends, people who were involved in something that likely didn't appear to be above board and yet did it anyway. That person, although to be clear, is not named in the complaint. The complaint says, quote, after plaintiff consumed his soda and began feeling its effects, Combs told plaintiff to move closer to him, which plaintiff did. Combs then abruptly pushed plaintiff down and said words to the effect of, you have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes. Now, the next part of the complaint is
Like what?
just incredibly graphic.
You
I'm
gotta
not
do
gonna
some
repeat
stuff
it
you don't
here,
want to
but
reduce. You don't want to do
essentially, John Doe
sometimes.
claims
People do anything
that
for
Combs
fame, bro.
sexually assaulted him, and then he lost consciousness. 10 years old. Quote, when plaintiff awoke, he began crying immediately. Plaintiff's pants were undone, and then he says that his private areas hurt badly. Combs was still present. Plaintiff cried that he wanted to go to his mom and
Bro, somebody gotta like seriously do something to him, bro. Cause like I don't like to hear that type of stuff. What you mean he woke up and his pants was off and his body parts was hurting, his private parts? Like what did you do to him, Diddy? Why you keep touching these people, bro? Bro, let that have been my kid or something. I don't know what I'd do. This is crazy.
Dad, Combs replied that if plaintiff told anyone about what had happened, he would hurt plaintiff's mom and dad badly. Upon
And
plaintiff's
then
return, his parents immediately noticed that he
threatening
was
the
lethargic
parents.
and acting differently. Although plaintiff ultimately told his parents what happened, plaintiff and his parents were terrified of the potential consequences of reporting the abuse. I want to focus on that point real quick, because assuming
That's
these
disgusting,
allegations
bro.
are true, some might say, how could you not report this to the police? Your child
That's
gets
what I'm-
attacked. I don't care who the person is. You go to the police.
I just said this, right? Literally just said this. Parents don't be caring. Why? Because they see these kids hanging with this superstar, and this superstar got a lot of money. He, quote unquote, gonna get his kid. Like, report this to the cops or do something. I don't understand, bro.
The other way of looking at it is, and this is a big theme that makes its way into these lawsuits and even the criminal case, is that Combs' power, his influence, his money, that scared people from coming forward. It was what led them
I
to
don't
engage
care,
in
bro.
these activities. The
Care how much
fear
money you
for
got.
their lives, their
You're not
fear
touching me
of
or nobody
reprisals.
around me.
And look, that will ultimately be up to a judge or a jury to decide regarding the credibility of this John Doe if this should make its way to trial. But I just have to call that point out. Now, according to the complaint, John Doe has had serious behavioral and emotional issues since this alleged 2005 incident. He reportedly suffers from depression, panics easily, battles night terrors, and he's bringing his claim against Combs as part
This
of
how you
his
know it's true
city-
though, because Justin Bieber said the same thing. TMZ was taking pictures of him and following him. He was like, y'all making me nervous and skitsy every time I see y'all. And now he's saying that he get nervous and he had weird panics. Like, Diddy traumatizing these people, bro. I just don't understand why they waited so long. He could have been handled and in jail.
Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. We've told you about this before. It's a law referenced by Combs' accusers, more specifically the Tony Busby clients. And what this law does is it allows an alleged victim of gender-motivated violence, where it doesn't just have to be sexual assault, by the way, it can be any kind of violence, a look-back window to file a lawsuit, even if their claims would otherwise be too old. Remember, this is in 2005. So now they have until February 2025 to file lawsuits. That's one of the reasons why you're seeing so many happen right now. According
Wow,
to the
we so
complaint,
late, though.
the requirement that the crime
You had
of
20
violence
years
be committed
to
because of gender or on the basis of gender and due at least in part to an animus based on the victim's
Well,
gender
19
is
years.
satisfied because defendant Combs forced plaintiff to engage in a sexual interaction without consent. Plaintiff John Doe could not effectively consent because of his age. The non-consensual sexual touching of a minor herein presented a serious risk of physical injury and in fact caused such injury. Gender animus adheres when consent is absent. And the lawsuit reiterates that businesses connected to Combs could be at fault as well. It alleges the Combs businesses had knowledge and or should have had knowledge of Combs' widespread and well-known practice of committing sexual assault and gender-motivated violence, including on premises owned and or operated by defendants, and did nothing to stop it. And the plaintiff here is demanding a jury trial. Okay, so putting that horrifying lawsuit to the side, we have another one that we want to tell you about, because that is not the only man claiming that Sean Combs assaulted him in the early 2000s.
What do you be
during the
thinking,
height of his
Diddy?
career. Another
What,
California
bro?
John Doe filed a suit on Monday as well. According to the filing, this case seeks compensatory and punitive damages for a violent sexual assault that occurred at a Making the Band audition in New York. Now, as many of you might recall, Making the Band was a very popular reality show on MTV where participants lived together, they competed to become part of a new singing group. The show created O-Town, Danity Kane, a group known as The Band. Being chosen to be part of the band at the end of the series, that could be life-changing. Do you remember the girl group Danity Kane? Not only they had
Let me ask y'all this, right? So, you a 10 to 15-year-old kid, and Diddy offers you all this money to do these weird things to you. Are you going to accept that? Or are you going to go tell your parents and have them call the cops? Forget being scared. Throw all that out the window. I know everybody different, but no, you're supposed to tell your parents immediately. What your parents tell you growing up? If anybody do anything to you, you let me know. They drop you over with somebody else. Anything happens, you let me know. So now that it's Diddy, y'all don't want to tell nobody until 20 years later? What would y'all do, though?
record deals. They went on tour, but there was clothing and perfume lines. The lead singer, Aubrey O'Day, was featured on Visa debit cards at one point. So this, as you can imagine, is a huge opportunity for somebody like John Doe. His complaint says, in or around 2008, plaintiff, then 17 years old, participated in a 3-day audition for Making the Band, having seen the opportunity online and through newspaper advertisements. During the audition process, plaintiff advanced to a stage where contestants met individually in private rooms with Combs and his bodyguard. John Doe says that on the first
It's crazy
day of the
because
audition, he had a one-on-one interview with Combs.
now you got to start questioning did his bodyguard touch people with him, because it's only y'all two in the room with him. You seen everything that was going on. I'm sure you had something to do with it too. Just saying. That's just my opinion. Now you got to start questioning everybody who was hanging around him and who was close with him.
Combs allegedly asked him hypothetical questions about how he would handle situations involving sexual pressure. The plaintiff
Like,
says
what they got
as
to do with
Combs was
anything?
talking to him,
They
he
auditioned for
started
him.
groping the then 17-year-old and allegedly told him to undress. And John Doe even claims that during all of this, Combs allegedly pleasured himself. And Combs reportedly emphasized that he could make or break John Doe's career.
Now
The
you
second
threatening
day
people.
featured a longer meeting. Quote, during this interview, Combs again instructed plaintiff to undress, explaining that plaintiff needed to demonstrate the ability to embody a sex idol persona, which was purportedly required for the band's image. This encounter eventually escalated into Combs forcing the plaintiff to perform oral sex on him and Combs sodomizing the plaintiff. And here's where a brand new allegation is made.
That's like,
According to John Doe, Combs' bodyguard.
what
who's
is
unnamed
wrong
in
with
the
him, bro? I don't care. If you swing that way, go get you a boyfriend and stick to that one guy, bro. But stop touching little kids and making them do sexual things to you and threatening them because you got this money and power, bro. Stop, bro. That is weird, bro. I don't like that shit, bro.
Lawsuit was not only present during the alleged sexual assault, but also participated in the sexual assault. Quote, plaintiff's facial expressions during this ordeal showed his discomfort and hesitation, prompting Combs to express dissatisfaction. Combs stated that plaintiff's demeanor suggested an intention to report the incidents, and as a result, Combs said he would be keeping an eye on plaintiff. Ultimately, this led to plaintiff's elimination from the competition, as Combs claimed that plaintiff was untrustworthy due to his reservations about performing oral sex on his bodyguard. As a result of these
This is making me
assaults during the
uncomfortable
audition
listening to it,
process and
bro.
plaintiff's reactions to them, plaintiff was excluded from further opportunities in the competition and was unable to return to the music industry for 7 years. And this John Doe is
Now you
also
blackballed
demanding a jury trial. Now, one final note about these Tony Busby lawsuits. Aside from Sean Combs, mostly everyone else who either participated in or facilitated this alleged abuse, or allegedly did so, is not identified by name in these lawsuits. Not clear why. Could be maybe Tony Busby and the team don't know the identity of these people. Maybe they don't know the identity of the people yet. Perhaps they will be added as defendants. In fact, there's a line in the complaint that reads, plaintiff reserves the right to add as defendants any individuals, including but not limited to celebrities and business entities. Or is it possible that Tony Busby and his team know who these people are, particularly celebrities, as have been listed in other lawsuits, and maybe there is an effort to try to settle the claims with them so that they are not named in the lawsuits?
Now he gonna try to pay
he's
him off.
indicated to TMZ that this is what might be happening, that people are reaching out to settle claims so they're not named. And also, look, we do not know now if these accusers or any of the Tony Busby clients.
I just want to say, right, whoever out there that was touched by him, do not accept no money, bro. Get him sent to jail. Don't put your rap on the line for some money, bro. Send him to jail, bro. Don't protect him.
Will be witnesses in Combs' criminal trial. Prosecutors, they have laid out a criminal timeline from
Come on,
2008
dog,
to
react when we say that.
2024, so some of these allegations fall outside of that window, but does it necessarily mean that evidence in incidents like this couldn't come in? However, it does become a question of how expansive a criminal case prosecutors want to move forward with. I don't imagine it's going to include every allegation against Sean Combs. As of now, they seem to be really focused on the freak-offs particularly, but what I will say is that given what we're hearing lately, more and more claims about Sean Combs allegedly abusing minors, you do have to wonder if Combs is hit with a superseding indictment, meaning you go to the grand jury to present new evidence of new crimes. You can add additional charges, amend charges.
Whatever indictment nigga hit him with, I hope he get hit with.
Charges related to minors. Very similar to R. Kelly's federal case.
Yep.
Obviously,
put him in the same cell with R. Kelly.
Federal charges, the claims would have to be vetted, but I will tell you this much. If you have federal charges related to minors, his defense radically changes. But what we do know is that these allegations against Sean Combs continue, and they are getting more and more disturbing. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and as always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Go subscribe to Sidebar. They be breaking everything down. I like him. But that's the end of the video, man. This is gonna keep getting worse and worse. This is the worst one so far. He touching 10-year rules. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Y'all let me know in the comments once again how y'all feel about this. What would y'all do in this predicament? And like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't like this type of stuff. But make sure y'all subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Drop some comments below. Let me know what y'all think, man. We out of here. Until next time.